Hi guys, and welcome to another Q&A video with me. Today I am going to be talking to you about commissions and how I went about starting them. So this is a question that I get asked an awful lot by people when they contact me, and my answer is always the same, and they always ask, how many commissions did you start, when did you start doing them, and how did it develop? Before I actually started taking commissions, I was drawing friends and family's pets and animals. My very first portrait that I tried to draw was Skip, my border collie, and I didn't have that much experience, and it kind of turned out a little bit, it was a bit iffy. The proportions were all wrong. I didn't really know how to draw my grid system up properly or anything. It was literally all just freehand work, and it was in graphite, and I hadn't worked with graphite previously, and it was just, I was looking back at some the other day, and it's just, I didn't like it at all. Some people would say that it's good, but to me and my critical self, it wasn't great for me. So I started off by drawing those kinds of things. I drew from what I knew. My family all had animals, and they were saying, oh yeah, you can practice on my dog, that's fine. So I ended up drawing my now husband's Labrador. She's a Labrador. And I also drew my mum's Doberman and her other little mixed breed, and I drew my dad's boxer, and I think I drew some horses, and I drew other dogs and bits and pieces, and I just drew for myself to build my skill, and I drew like this for a period of about 6 months. That's all I did. I didn't do anything to sell. I just did it for people that I knew for free. I didn't charge them because I didn't feel that my skill level was at that level where I could actually ask for money for them. They were extreme amateur drawings, and I really didn't feel comfortable asking for anything for them. So I drew all those over about 6 months, and then at that 6 months period I had gained enough experience and skill that I felt comfortable to start advertising that I was doing commissions. And so I went about this by advertising them on my Facebook page, and that's really where it all took off and snowballed from there. I posted the pictures which I had drawn, and they were received very, very well, and then I was actually contacted and asked to do a commission of a ginger cat, and that was my first one, and I think her name was Cassie, and the owner still loves her. I started off with my very first commission, and I was charging about £20 for an A4 piece, which wasn't a lot, but it was what I was willing to charge that customer for my skill level at that time and for what I was going to be able to give her. In hindsight, £20 was maybe a little bit too cheap, but it was what I was comfortable with at the time, and I felt good about it. I was giving something for my customer which they loved, and in return I was getting a small amount of profit. It just went from there. From that commission I got another commission. They didn't all come at once. It did take a little time, and they all trickled through, but what really did it was when I held a Next Top Pet Model competition on my Facebook page, where I asked people to submit photographs that they would like drawn for a free portrait. And that's where it took off. That competition ended, I drew the model that won. It was a couple of rabbits, and then in the new year I advertised, I rejigged everything, sorted out a website for myself so people could go and visit it and see previous work, and from there it just grew. In that year, that was 2014, I think it was 2014, and that's when all of my commissions came through, and then ever since then I've been booked up and busy. Every year I would revise my price list because I had gained another level in experience, or another year in experience I should say, not a level. I had gained more experience, so I felt comfortable to up my prices. So when I first started that very first ginger cat commission, my prices were about £20 to £60 depending on the size. And I then, after that year, put my prices up by about £15 and £20. So I was charging about £55 for an A4 portrait, which again isn't a lot, but it's what I was comfortable with at my skill level at that time. So I drew for a whole nother year in 2014. I had lots of commissions, and then in 2015 came, I decided I'm going to put my prices up again because I have another year's of experience. I have all of these customers that are loving my work, and I feel like the value of my work had gone up. So I increased my prices yet again. Once 2015 or my order book had filled up for 2015, I changed my prices to my now 2016 prices. And again, they've gone up because my body of work has grown immensely. I have so many customers now that I've completed portraits for and are exceedingly happy. So all of that has boosted the value of my work. That, and every year I have gained more and more followers. I've put my name out there, I have advertised, I have done absolutely everything I can to be able to spread my name and increase my value as an artist. And that's really what it's all about. When you are starting commissions, you generally want to start at a lower price and then build them up, because when you first start, nobody really knows about you. Unless you're a famous person, nobody is going to recognise your name, and they're not going to want to pay a high price tag for somebody that they know absolutely nothing about. So start off low, don't be too cocky, and then rise your prices as you gain an experience and people start to recognise your work. That's the best piece of solid advice I can give you when doing commissions. Commission is, for me, the best way to work because you get that one-on-one contact with your customer, you get to make your customer happy, you sort of can say what you will and won't do, so you can decide what work you will do and that kind of thing. It really is the best kind of work to do. So there's some advice when you're starting out commissions. You just want to start off slow, build your body of work if you don't think you're all that great, until you get to a point where you think that you can start charging, and then start charging and then gradually increase your prices as the more awareness there is of your work and the more years or experience or skill you have doing it. I think that's about all the advice I can give when actually starting your commission work. I will do another Q&A on commissions as like a trio of things, and I will be discussing what you want to look for in photographs and when you can and when you can't say yes and no to a commission. So look forward to that. And that's it for this one. It's just a quick little Q&A on commissions, and I will see you next time, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you want to see more, have a little browse through. That's great. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.